看人间，大地展笑颜，鞭炮声声响雷天。晚上灯芯处处挂喜气，想念情侣双亲。万圣恭喜，迎接美好的新年，换上新装，大家一起来高歌迎新年。新年到，新年好，祝你阖家都安好。祝福你新一年，家家户户庆团圆。
Thanks to the dancers who demonstrated the ethos of Malaysia, that is unity in diversity. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we would like to invite the President of Dr. Ambedkar Welfare Association Malaysia, Datuk Panjamurti Karpan, to deliver his welcome address.
Malaysia Dr. Ambedkar Sambutan Kelahiran தலைவர் மதிப்புமிகு Datuk Panjamurti அவர்களை வரவேற்புரை வழங்க அன்போடு அழைக்கின்றோம்.
Salam sejahtera, selamat petang, dan salam Malaysia Madani. Good evening to all of you. Vanakkam, Jai Hind. Our Honorable Chief Guest of Honor, Yang Amat Hormat Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim, beloved Union Prime Minister of Malaysia. Our respected patron of Dr. Ambedkar Welfare Organization of Malaysia, Mr. Oms P. Tyagarajan, who is also the chairman of Oms Foundation. Our respected patron of Dr. Ambedkar Welfare Organization of Malaysia, Yang Berhormat Senator Puan Kandasamy, Saraswati Kandasamy, the Deputy Minister of National Unity of Malaysia. Our respected Yang Berhormat Stephen Sim Chi Yong, Minister of Human Resources of Malaysia. Yang Berhormat Yang Berhormat all our respected guests and respected His Excellency Mr. B.R. Reddy, the High Commissioner of India to Kuala Lumpur, the respected chief guest from India, Dr. Bima Rao, who is the grandson of our Baba Sahib, Dr. Ambedkar. Welcome, sir, to our beautiful country of Malaysia. Yang Berhormat Pulau Segaran, Deputy Minister of the Prime Minister's Department, the all respected senators, members of parliament, exco members, and state assemblymen are those. All the foreign delegates, namely from India, USA, Canada, Japan, Germany, United Kingdom, Australia, Brunei, Singapore, Indonesia, UAE, South Arabia, and etc. And also our local Malaysian delegates, all the respected guests. And also the organizing committee of Dr. Ambedkar Organization of Malaysia. On behalf of the organization, I would like to welcome all of you to the 133 birth anniversary celebration of Baba Sahib, Dr. Ambedkar, and also to the 5th International Konvensyen 2024. This function is jointly organized by Dr. Ambedkar Welfare Organization of Malaysia and also OMS Foundation. We are very much delighted and honored to have Yang Amat Berhormat Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim, the Prime Minister of Malaysia, as our honorable guest to this function. Welcome and thank you, Yang Amat Berhormat Datuk Seri. Yang Amat Berhormat Datuk Seri, as for your information, our organization has a strong international network throughout the world, and we have been doing activities not only in Malaysia but also internationally. As Datuk Seri can clearly witness today that there are about 150 foreign delegates from many countries have come together to participate in this historical event. The number would have been much higher if not for the election in India. Not only that, there are more than 1,200 people gathered here to witness this function. This event is also being aired live in various countries. All of them are very much eager to listen to the speech of Yang Amat Berhormat Datuk Seri today. In the year 2021, Yang Amat Berhormat Datuk Seri, as an opposition leader and a member of Parliament for Dixon, attended as a chief guest to honor, to inaugurate the 131st birthday anniversary of Dr. Ambedkar at the Royal Climate Club, Kuala Lumpur. But today, Datuk Seri, we are very glad and delighted and happy to see Yang Amat Berhormat Datuk Seri as our beloved Prime Minister of Malaysia officiating this historical function today. Your presence today gives us the highest esteem, happiness, moral support, motivation with high spirit of inspiration to all our members of this organization. Dr. Ambedkar Organization of Malaysia will never forget this memorable day throughout our journey. Dr. Ambedkar was the chief architect of the Indian Constitution, which is being the pillar of democracy in India. Dr. Ambedkar was the builder of the modern India, champion of the human rights, particularly for the Dalit community. He was a visionary leader, economist, social reformer, research philosopher, writer, historian, and a radical thinker. For having recognized his supreme intelligence, knowledge, and contribution to the humanity, to honor his contribution, his statue has been erected and streets named after him in many countries, especially in USA, Canada, UK, Australia, Japan, South Africa, Hungary, New Zealand, Germany. Of course, thousands of statues were built in India. The largest statue of Ambedkar is in Hyderabad, India. Ambedkar lived and guided everyone on the basic principles of equality, fraternity, and humanity. Ladies and gentlemen, Yang amat hormat Datuk. Today is a special day. Ambedkar was born on this very day of 14th April 1891. Today is also the Tamil New Year, Varsa Parab. I take this opportunity to wish everyone happy Tamil New Year. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We have planned various events in the name of Ambedkar, for which I appeal to all of you who are gathered here to give continuous support and courage. If I conclude my speech, I would like to quote the saying of Baba Sahib Dr. Ambedkar. If you are united, you stand tall with high dignity and respect. Let me repeat again. If you are united, you stand tall with high dignity and respect. But if you are divided, you will fall and bring shame to your own community. Likewise, I would like to humbly request and advise the Indian community in Malaysia to stay united. We must also give our full support to the unity government under the leadership of Yang Amat Hormat Datuk Seri Anwar to bring social reforms and transformations to the Indian community. Our motherland is Malaysia. We believe this is unity government will help us to underprivileged communities to uplift its status in this country based on the principles of equality, fraternity, and humanity. Sagodara-sagodari, Indru மாண்புமிகு டாக்டர் ஸ்ரீ அன்வார் இப்ராஹிம் நமது பிரதமர் அவர்கள் இந்த விழாவுக்கு வந்து தலைமை தாங்குவது நமக்கெல்லாம் பெரிய சந்தோஷமும் ஆலோசனை கூட. ஆகவே டாக்டர் ஸ்ரீ அன்வார் இப்ராஹிம் இங்கு வந்து தலைமை தாங்குவதற்கு தேசனுடைய எல்லா நிர்வாகத்திற்கும் நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கின்றேன், சந்தோஷத்தையும் தெரிவிக்கின்றேன். சிறுபான்மையாக இருக்கக்கூடிய இந்திய சமுதாயம் நாம் அனைவரும் ஒன்றுபட வேண்டும், ஒற்றுமையாக இருக்க வேண்டும். ஒற்றுமையே நமது பலம், ஒற்றுமையே நமது உயர்வு என்று கூறிக்கொண்டு நமக்கு இருக்கக்கூடிய அந்த அரசாங்கத்திற்கு முழுமையான ஆதரவை நீங்கள் வழங்க வேண்டும் என்று கேட்டுக்கொண்டு உங்களிடம் விரைகின்றேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம், வாழ்க.
United we stand, divided we fall. A timely reminder for all of us. Thank you, Datuk, for the short and sharp welcoming address.
உற்சாகமான ஒரு எழுச்சியான வரவேற்புரையை ஆற்றி சென்ற நம்முடைய டாக்டர் கே பஞ்சமூர்த்தி அவர்களுக்கு நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்வோம்.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to recite one of Dr. Ambedkar's famous quotes on women empowerment. I measure the progress of a community by the degree of progress which women have achieved. In that spirit, I would like to welcome the first Malaysian Indian women Deputy Minister, Senator Saraswati Kandasamy, for her special address.
பெண்கள் அடைந்துள்ள முன்னேற்றத்தின் அளவை கொண்டே ஒரு சமுதாயத்தின் முன்னேற்றம் அளவிடப்படுகின்றது என்கின்றார் டாக்டர் அம்பேத்கர். அந்த வகையில் மலேசியாவில் முதல் இந்திய பெண் துணை அமைச்சராக மாண்புமிகு செனட்டர் சரஸ்வதி கந்தசாமி அவர்கள் விளங்குவது நமக்கு பெருமையான விஷயம். இதோ சிறப்புரையாற்ற அன்போடு அழைக்கின்றோம்.
அகர முதல எழுத்தெல்லாம் ஆதி பகவன் முதற்றே உலகு. Honorable Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar bin Ibrahim, President of Dr. Ambedkar Welfare Organisation Malaysia Datuk Panjamurti, Patron of AIM Malaysia Mr. Om P. Thiagarajan, Honorable Human Resource Minister Stephen Singh Ki Cheong, Honorable Deputy Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Mr. Kulasekharan, Honorable Deputy Minister in the Entrepreneurial Development and Cooperative, Datuk Ramanan, His Excellency Ian Reddy, High Commissioner of India, and our very special guest, the grandson of Baba Sahib Dr. Ambedkar, that's Mr. Bhimrao Yashwant Ambedkar, delegates from various parts of the world, local Malaysian delegates, association leaders and guests, salam sejahtera, salam perpaduan, salam Malaysia Madani. இன்று தமிழ் புத்தாண்டு கொண்டாடும் அனைத்து தமிழ் பெருமக்களுக்கும் எனது இனிய தமிழ் புத்தாண்டு வாழ்த்தினை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கின்றேன். ஆண்டுதோறும் புத்தாண்டு வருகின்றது. இந்த புதிய ஆண்டில் ஒரு தன்னலமற்ற ஒரு ஒன்றுபட்ட சமூகத்தை உருவாக்கும் ஒரு புதிய சகாப்தத்தில் காலடித்து வைப்பதாக இந்த ஆண்டை நாம் தொடங்க வேண்டும் என்று கேட்டுக்கொண்டு உங்கள் வாழ்த்தினை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கின்றேன். Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I stand before these dignitaries and the thousands of guests who are gathered here with a sense of fulfillment that our unselfish decision to form this Ambedkar organization in Malaysia has finally earned its due recognition. The achievements, the fame, the contributions of Dr. Ambedkar is voluminous. We can go on discussing about it for months, for days, for months, but it will never end because his memorable contribution to the society is so huge that we cannot start and end in a day or in a short speech. However, there's been a discourse on why we should have an organization in Malaysia in the name of an icon from India. What have we achieved with this association over the period, and what is going to be the next? What's next? For that, I will take very short time to explain so that I can give way for the Honorable Prime Minister to take his full time to deliver his keynote address. Basically, when this organization was conceived about 14 years back, why? Actually, at the time in Malaysia, we were witnessing political leadership crisis where there was change of leadership and there was split in parties. Different segments were trying to claim leadership, to ownership to the leadership, court cases, court battles, and there were so many agitations happening in this country in the year 2010. That's when Datuk Ibrahim, who is seated here, he inspired us that we leave behind all the political struggle. Let us move forward with a vision to be the voice of the unheard, to advocate the concerns and challenges of the underprivileged. So when he mooted that idea, at the time Dr. Panjamurthy was already involved in the International Ambedkar Mission. So we four of us, and there was another editor, Datuk Rajan, we four of us got together and we said that we are not going to be part of the mainstream political struggle, but we will be the voice of the unheard. And therefore we formed this association in the year 2010 with the support of Mr. Om Tyagarajan. We were able to hold many international gatherings and we were able to carry out our activities in the form of voicing for the unheard. Through the newspapers, that was the only platform that we had. We didn't use political platform because we came from different ideology. I was pro-Pakatan, he was pro-Barisan. So we said we will focus on the issues of the underprivileged community in this country. Media was our platform. We had all the liberty to voice out for the people of Malaysia. Then we tried to regularize this movement by trying to register the organization but it took 5 years. Every time when we tried to register, it was rejected. So finally, it was only registered in the year 2016. Since then, we have pursued our struggle, or what we had set forth in the year 2010 to be voicing out on all the issues pertaining to the Indian community, especially in this country. In the year 2021, we decided to have this organization to participate in the mainstream issues, like voicing for the mainstream issues. Then we had that during the period of COVID and post-COVID, we could not organize any events, but we struggled to squeeze in one event, that was 131st birthday celebration of Baba Sahib Ambedkar. Thereafter, in year 2022, I became a deputy minister, and I relinquished my position as a secretary for this organization to another up-and-coming leader who is your MC here today, as an example of giving way for other women to come up in terms of leadership and especially in politics. So what is next for this organization? As I mentioned earlier, since 2020, we have been planning for many forums to create more leaders, because Ambedkar was an unparalleled leader. While he pursued his political career, he became the first law minister in India, but he never neglected the needs and the cry of his own society. And therefore, we have planned many events, many initiatives to be undertaken by this organization, and first and foremost would be to empower the women. Create new women leadership through this organization, because Ambedkar felt that a success of a society or a community is measured by the success of a woman. For a woman to be in politics is not easy. We face different kinds of challenges. We will have manufactured lies, personal attacks. So we need to be behind the women and create the women to be self-confident leaders to fight against the tyranny of all these attacks against them. So that will be the far and foremost mission of Ambedkar Association, and therefore I see a lot of potential women here of all races. Please come forward and be the next leaders of Malaysia. That's my request to you all. தமிழிலே கூறுவார்கள், ஒற்றுமையே பலம் என்பது. அந்த ஒற்றுமைக்கு முக்கியமாக இருப்பது நமது உள்ளபூர்வமான ஒரு அணுகுமுறை. ஒற்றுமை என்பது வார்த்தையளவில் நின்றுவிடக்கூடாது. ஒற்றுமை என்பது நமது செயலில் இருக்க வேண்டும். ஒரு பெண்ணை ஒரு தலைவராக உயர்த்தி பார்க்கின்ற பொழுது அதற்கு குரல் கொடுக்கக்கூடிய தலைவர்கள் இருக்கின்ற நாட்டிலே ஒரு சமுதாயம் வளர்ச்சி பெறும். அந்த சமுதாயம் வளர்ச்சி பெறுகின்ற பொழுது அந்த பெண் மட்டுமல்ல, அந்த பெண்ணை சார்ந்த அனைவருமே வெற்றி பெறுவார்கள் என்பதுதான் சரித்திரம் கூறுகின்ற உண்மை. அந்த வகையிலே நாம் கேட்டிருப்போம், உலகம் சமநிலை பெற வேண்டும், உயர்வு தாழ்வில்லா நிலை வேண்டும், இத நிறைவை பெறுகின்ற மனம் வேண்டும், இறைவா அதை நீ தர வேண்டும் என்று நாம் கேட்போம். இது அகத்தியரின் பாடல்களாக இருந்தாலும் அம்பேத்கரின் வரிகள், உயர்வு தாழ்வில்லா ஒரு சமூகத்தை உருவாக்க வேண்டும், அதிலே பெண்களை முதன்மைப்படுத்த வேண்டும். அந்த பெண்களை முதன்மைப்படுத்துவதன் வழியாக ஒரு சமுதாய முயற்சி பெற வேண்டும் என்ற அந்த வேட்கையோடும் அந்த கோரிக்கையோடும் இந்த நிகழ்விற்கு வருகை தந்திருக்கும் உங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் எனது மனமார்ந்த வாழ்த்தினையும் நன்றியும் கூறிக்கொண்டு விடைபெறுகின்றேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
Thank you, Senator, for the insightful thoughts and inspiring remarks that has truly set the tone for the day.
பெண் என்பவள் சமூகத்தில் உயர்ந்து நிற்க குடும்பத்தில் இருந்து மட்டுமல்ல சமுதாயத்தில் வெற்றி பெற்றுவிட்டால் நிச்சயமாக அந்த நாடும் சமுதாயம் சிறப்பாக அமையும் என்றார் நம்முடைய செனட்டர் அவர்கள். அவர்களுக்கு நம்முடைய நன்றி.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we have reached the moment that we have been waiting for. Let's put our hands together to welcome our chief guest, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar bin Ibrahim, onto the stage to deliver his keynote address. Now, I would also like to invite the President and the patrons of AIM Malaysia to do the felicitations to the Prime Minister. Together with them, we would like to have Dr. Ibrahim Ambedkar on stage, please.
நாம் எதிர்பார்த்து காத்திருந்த தருணம் நமது அம்பேத்கர் மாநாட்டினை அதிகாரப்பூர்வமாக திறந்து வைத்து நம்முடைய பிரதமர் அவர்கள் உரையாற்றவிருக்கின்றார். அதற்கு முன்பாக நம்முடைய செந்தமிழ் செல்வர் ஓம்ஸ்பா தியாகராஜன் அவர்கள் நம்முடைய பிரதமருக்கு சிறப்பு செய்யவிருக்கின்றார். ஒரு பெரிய கைத்தட்டலோடு நாம் வரவேற்போம். மிக அழகான ஒரு உருவப்படத்தை இப்பொழுது நம்முடைய அம்பேத்கர் அவருடைய பேரவர்கள் வழங்குகின்றார்கள்.
Thank you. We will now hear from our Prime Minister.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, saudara-saudari, waalaikum. Oleh kerana saudara pasti lagi menyambut pertamanya sambutan Hari Besaran Telugu, maka saya ucapkan Ugadi Subha Kancang. Kemudian untuk kawan kita masyarakat Sikh, Aisaki tentunya. Dan untuk masyarakat Tamil, hari ini hari besar masyarakat Tamil, malam, maka saya ucapkan Tamil Tandu Bal. Dan sebab itu saya boleh beritahu disambut oleh Datuk Kuasa ini, saya kata kita kena buat sambutan Hari Raya, jadi saya sama-sama ke selamat Hari Raya, selepas ini kita makan sekali. Saudara Datuk Pramuji, Rupan Presiden Satuan Ambedkar, Menteri Deputi, dan juga sampai ke ucapan yang saya baik tadi, tanya yang pertama, Lady Perdana Tinggi India, Ibrahim Ambedkar, Om Seri Raja, Kepala Menteri, rakan-rakan yang saya muliakan, termasuk Musi Mitra yang baru dan Praba. Saya memang mengagum Ambedkar, dan pernah beberapa tahun yang lalu saya sampai ke ucapan dengan sedikit nota menyingkap kupasan beliau, perjuangan beliau, pengalaman. Jadi sebab itu bila diundang untuk bersama, saya rasa satu kehormatan Karena ini bukan satu bicara biasa, tapi satu tokoh Barat, tokoh besar India dan juga dunia yang memperjuangkan erti kebebasan, keadilan, terutama bagi golongan yang miskin dan terpinggir. So I come here on two issues. Of course, first, Ambedkar, whom I personally admire immensely for his vast contribution, struggle and sacrifice. He's a man of ideas who believed in a just cause, not only for his community, but also to progress India and China. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we now live in an age where opinions are swiftly formed and swayed by the most sensational images and soundbites. Outrage has become the currency of attention, where candid conversations descend into acrimonious debates. Therefore, it has become increasingly vital to nurture an environment where depth and nuance prevail over quick and impulsive judgments. We must all strive to make Malaysia a place where a healthy, vibrant intellectual discourse can thrive. Diverse perspectives are valued, and disagreements are approached with civility. Otherwise, we become pawns in the racist agenda and by the religious because. We see this not only among the Malays, a subsegment of Chinese, and also Indians, other than some indigenous tribes. If we want Malaysia to survive, we have to go back to the core values and principles of humanity, of justice, of unity, because that will ensure our success. Not to pander to the racist agenda of various races, to showcase their importance by showing it's only their problem or their segment of the population without regard to the very interests of the country. It is therefore precisely for this reason that I am very grateful to you, Mr. President, to join you in an event where we honor thought, knowledge, and contemplation as we pay homage to a singular sage, a beacon of wisdom, and a trailblazer for the ages. My Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, there is no easy way to encapsulate the story of a man as consequential as Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. But the greatest inspiration from his life is surely his indomitable spirit. This was a person who personified courage and fortitude, whose unwavering determination has given us what is possibly history's most remarkable example of the power of education, hard work, and indomitable spirit. As most of you have already known, Ambedkar was born on this day in 1891 into a community that was historically deemed Dalit, those days untouchables. It was a different time and a different place, fighting not only the outrageous colonial empire, but also a culture and a caste system. It's basically so inhuman. For Ambedkar to progress in life was an act of defiance, an audacious struggle against the servitude of social injustice. Unlike other pupils in his class from higher caste, young Ambedkar was forced to attend lessons while on the floor in the corner of a classroom, seated on a gunny sack that nobody dared to touch. He would often go thirsty because he was forbidden from touching the school's water tap. No barber would cut his hair. No launderer would wash his clothes. Now, we are talking about this man with such spirit and courage. He wanted to study Sanskrit, but that was the classic language for the elite, but was denied because that language was considered too sacred for a Dalit. Yet, despite these and many other deprivations and indignities, Ambedkar would eventually earn 2 doctorates, apart from qualifying for the English bar at Grade 8. I salute his man. He would then lead a social movement seeking to overturn centuries-old prejudices, emerge as India's James Madison. In a way, although this is a popular comparison, I would consider Ambedkar greater than James Madison. And the confidence showed by the Congress leadership under Jawaharlal Nehru, he was appointed to craft Indian Constitution and made a Minister of Law. And that's why you study the constitutions of various countries. Indian Constitution is quite spectacular in terms of addressing central core issues about freedom, of basic rights, about the rights of those deprived, social depravities, which we in Malaysia benefited a lot when we crafted our constitution in 1997, or prior to that, even by the Reid Commission. His writings and speeches covered subjects as diverse as economics, constitutional law, partition of India, linguistics, theology, and of course, central questions asked. I was telling Stephen Sim that whilst in prison in Singapore, I have extensive notes. Now, I should share with you because it's enormous lectures and writings and books in English. And his copious notes gave me this sort of real understanding of the struggle of those in the minority, and who had to struggle beyond what is deemed a normal art. Now, although most of his writings were tailored to the politics of his time in Indian history, nevertheless, much of the writings that I referred to in my copious notes is timeless and remains relevant to us today, not only in India and other parts of the world. So I mentioned to Datuk Panjamurti, it's not enough to have such conferences and attempt to celebrate his greatness, but to popularize. I mentioned this, my Indian friends would excuse me, talking to my Indian friends in Penang and Johor. Some have heard, but no real understanding what Ambedkar was. And I think for Malaysia, not only for the ethnic Indians, but the Malays, Chinese, Malaysians, you must honor this great sage, the great. Now the central thesis of his argument is of course social democracy. Social democracy, a concept quite distinct from the current European understanding of the term. While we may be familiar with the French Revolution motto of liberty, equality, fraternity, for Ambedkar, it is not enough to have mere legal and political trappings of democracy. Now, one of his great addresses in December 1949, in his final speech to the India's Constituent Assembly. Now, I'll pause on that, okay, for a while. We are talking about his address to India's Constituent Assembly. I think it's different than our MPs to share his speech to some of our MPs, to understand a speech in Parliament must be well crafted and of quality. Too much excesses and nonsense is being said in Parliament. You must learn from the experience of them. That is an opportunity to you to craft good ideas, good criticism, alternative views, not mudslinging and heckling and bringing shame to the quality of parliamentarians in our country. Now, what did he say in his last 1949 Constituent Assembly speech? Ambedkar said, without quality, without equality, liberty would produce the supremacy of the law, the supremacy of the few over the many. Supremacy of the few of the many. Economic, law, education. No. Without equality, you will continue to find this gross inequality between the very rich, the elite, and the masses. 1949, he reminded us. Now, equality without liberty would kill individual initiative. Without fraternity, liberty would produce the supremacy of the few over the many. It's a very compelling case what we mean by freedom. Of course, now we see reformacy or the Madani notion. What I take from Ambedkar's philosophy is the compelling idea that democracy needs to be underpinned by a societal commitment to achieve certain ideals and aspirations. I'm especially attracted to his emphasis on fraternity, which is essential for the fostering of unity, undoubtedly a central pillar in Malaysia Madani, our philosophy of nationhood. Ambedkar understood that the formal structures of democracy, elections, parliament, courts, well, they are necessary, but they are not sufficient in themselves. Strengthening the institution of democracy is not only to ensure the independence of the judiciary or the free media of a vibrant parliament. No society in the world fulfills these aspirations in total. We all struggle to achieve these ideas in one way or another. Yet, a firm commitment to them is essential if democracy is to flourish. Another potent example for Ambedkar's life comes from his commitment to women's rights, where one of his primary concerns was for greater equality under the law. Now, we are talking about 2024. He was talking about 30s and 40s in his speech 1939, where women are virtually together to the homes and not given equality. But he worked tirelessly on legal reform to grant women the right even to initiate divorce while expanding their right to inherit property. Now, from promoting women's access to healthcare to supporting their autonomy in matters of marriage, Ambedkar was well ahead of his time. He is a visionary, not too popular in many quarters, then and now, but he stood firm to his principles. And India benefited from this great sage, and I believe humanity at large would also benefit from his vision, views, particularly in the issue of freedom, equality, and what he terms as social justice. So, ladies and gentlemen, while Ambedkar has passed on for nearly 7 decades, now, how do we honor his memory? Is to rekindle its flame, not to bury the ashes of the dead by glamorizing what he did in the past, but to understand his core fundamental ideas and share this vision. Yes, some of us are ethnic Indians or ethnic Chinese or Malays or Kadazans or Dayaks, but we ultimately are human beings that must be treated fairly, just, also justice, quality, and focusing to ensure the advancement of the downtrodden throughout the world. Thank you again for this. I speak about Ambedkar with passion because to me it's just not biased attitudes and political rhetoric. We believe this cause. And why do I then take the trouble, a Malay Muslim, honoring a great sage, an Indian, Hindu or Buddhist? Because I believe that he has contributed immensely, sacrificed, abused and insulted and dehumanized in his time, but remained true to his core principles and values, through a tenacity of purpose and his courage. So, on this first point of Ambedkar, I want to conclude by just saying, you have to take the lead. This country must share this value, and not to continue bickering over some very petty issue, sowing the seed of discord and hatred among races and people. And I state this again today, that with this mandate in this government, particularly as long as I am given the confidence, I will not compromise in making sure that this country is for all Malaysians, regardless of race. Baik, saya nak sambung sedikit lagi tentang masalah yang dibangkitkan oleh masyarakat India. Dan saya nak cakap seperti biasa terus terang. Saya sudah jadi Perdana Menteri lebih pada setahun, hampir 1 tahun setengah. Saya telah janjikan keadilan. Saya perhatikan permasalahan masyarakat Melayu dengan semua dasar-dasar hebat-hebat. Tetapi jurang yang kaya dan miskin terus melebar. Atas nama dasar Bumi Putera, banyak yang disakau, memperkayakan golongan kecil, memiskinkan yang lain. Dan dalam Kongres Ekonomi Bumi Putera, saya umumkan beberapa langkah baru untuk memperkasa ekonomi bumi. Dan saya tidak perlu apologetik atau mohon maaf. Masyarakat Melayu atau Bumi Putera masih majoriti. Dan beberapa peruntukan perlembagaan memberi jaminan yang jelas. Tapi umuman saya juga mengundang kritikan keras dari wakil-wakil berpegawai. Saya nak beri nasihat. Caranya ialah runding mencari penyelesaian. Kalau saya tidak lakukan apa-apa untuk membantu masyarakat India, sudah ada hak menikam. Tetapi saya nak beritahu, Dewan Sim dalam kabinet, saya tidak pernah bertolak ansur. Apa isu? Apa keutamaan saya? Saya tak peduli sama ada toke India, toke Cina, toke Melayu berjaya atau tidak. Saya peduli tentang majoriti di bawah. Sebab itu saya kata, yang pertama, noktahkan kemiskinan. Siapa yang mendapat faedah banyak? Orang miskin. Kebetulan dari segi jumlah Melayu, tapi dari segi nisbah di Kuala Lumpur, di Negeri Sembilan, nisbah yang paling banyak mendapat manfaat ialah masyarakat India. Saya tidak lihat segi tahu kalau mereka miskin tegak, mereka miskin tegak dan harus dibantu. Dan syukur alhamdulillah di Kuala Lumpur, Negeri Sembilan, Melaka, Selangor dan Pulau Pinang kita dapat menyelesaikan hampir keseluruhan masalah kemiskinan tegak tanpa mengira kaum. Apa masalah kedua yang kita selesaikan? Masalah sekolah. Sudah pilih hantar anak ke sekolah Tamil. Ya, itu pilihan saudara. Perlembagaan mengizinkan, dasar pendidikan membolehkan. Sama ada sekolah Tamil atau sekolah Cina. Tentunya tumpuan kita kepada sekolah kebangsaan. Kita tak nafikan hak. Ramai anak Melayu sekarang, mungkin 100,000 yang ke sekolah Cina. Tetapi dari segi dasar, kita nak bangunkan semua sekolah satu sekaligus tak mungkin. Jadi apa yang kita lakukan? Keputusan untuk membantu, membina, memperbaiki dari tandas ke sekolah taif tanpa kecuali. Maknanya sekolah kebangsaan, sekolah Cina, sekolah Tamil. Dan kita lakukan dengan berjaya dan sekarang hampir 100% yang melibatkan sekolah taif dah diperbaiki. Saya mahu rakan-rakan pimpinan masyarakat India faham ini. Kalau tidak kita defensif, belum buat. Ya, banyak yang belum buat. Negara hampir rosak. Rasuah bermahal-lelah. Orang miskin masih ramai. Mutu pendidikan kadang-kadang terjejas. Tak ambil tindakan. Tapi tindakan ini merentas kaum. Jadi saya nak saudara, sementara boleh buat tuntutan. Kita mahu Menteri Kesihatan buat ini atau Menteri Kemajuan Desa buat itu. Tetapi jangan nafikan kerana belum pernah pendekatan begini berkesan begitu. Now let me summarize. On the issue of hardcore poor and preparing deliberated schools, be it national style schools or Chinese or Tamil schools. In the past, we've been very selective. Now we prepare all schools. You fall to that category, we will assist you. If there are complaints, we'll immediately address. some complaints immediately brought to cabinet and compel the ministry to immediately act. Now, I want to emphasize this point because it is utter rubbish to suggest that these things are not done. The Indian issue is not only Mitra. Some have been saying, well, you mean the Indians only 100 million from Mitra? Not true. Okay, I'm going to summarize and read out a few other initiatives, and we're not stopping at that. Now, I want you, my brothers and sisters, to understand, let us work together as a team. We can do it if we do it together. We can do it, we don't sow the seed of enmity between one race to another. I'm here as Prime Minister for all Malaysians. And we want to change the course of history. I will not be happy and satisfied and sleep peacefully at night if I feel that some legitimate concerns of the poor Malays or legitimate concerns of the poor Indians in the estates, or some grievances of the Chinese, or the Ibans or the Karazans are not being addressed. No, I will not have that. We'll have to deal with it. And that's why I'm appealing to you. Work together as a team. Give us the opportunity to do it. Thank you, when Ramadan took over Mitra last year. And of course we have to change. But there were problems in the past. We have to address. Every single cent must be accounted for. There must be proper auditing of all expenses. I will not compromise with it. Whether you are a Malay minister or Indian minister, you must understand that this is the rule of this government. Okay. Now, this has been announced for a number of times. I will not repeat. Then other than that, how do you expect me to respond when some of my old dear friends, including some Indian friends, who say, oh, Anwar has left his ideals, and it's okay, I'm a politician, you can criticize. But be honest about it. The solution to the ethnic Indian problem is not only Mitra. If you ask me, I don't want to have Mitra. I want everything to be transparent. But then it is already there. If I just cancel, there will be riots. So it's okay, proceed. But other than Mitra, we have the code. How much you spend for the code? For Indian community, 30 million. Amanah Ikhtiar. I set up when I was finance minister, decades ago, for the very poor Malays in the villages. But now, in 2024, we added 50 million ringgit just to cater for Indian families. And the total allocation for 2024, adding to the 23 budget, is 71 million ringgit, Amanah. So, I'm compelled to see these things because you see, nothing is being done. And some of you, betul lah ini Anwar tak ada gunanya nyanyi na ita. Sudah lupa kita. Dia dulu Sibaji the boss, sekarang Sibaji the coolie. So I have to say this betul-betul. Umpamanya, sekolah baru ini buka 2023, 2024, SJKT Ladang Bukit Hijau, kita tambah 200,000 kali keperluan baru ni. SJKT Sivil Selangor, Mac 2024 buka. SJKT Sangga Negeri Sembilan, Mac 2024 buka. SJKT Pertang Negeri Sembilan, Mac 2024. SJKT Hiwat Perak, Mac 2024. Dan mereka minta saya rasmi, mungkin saya akan pergi rasmi sekolah. Jadi, dan ada yang lain. Bagaimana kita kata tak ada langsung? Tak betul. Kemudian yang dana tambahan 30 juta untuk pembangunan SJKT. termasuk sedikit tajam. Ini Steven minta. YMHA Perak, North Hamok Selangor, Kulai Besar Johor, SJKT Rini Johor. 5 juta untuk pembangunan pendidikan dan kesetaraan Tamil yang saya umum di Universiti Melayu. 1,5 juta bakul makanan madani di AWANI untuk B40, B40, 12,000 yang miskin. Kemudian kepada badan bukan kerajaan 26 juta. Untuk AIDS University dengan syarat ia berikan peruntukan dan kewangan yang terus, saya dah luluskan untuk AIDS University 25 juta ringgit. Now, latihan Tibet selain daripada mitra. Selain daripada program Tibet yang Datuk Seri Zahid umumkan, kita dalam mesyuarat Jemaah Menteri setuju untuk juga beri ruang kepada pelajar-pelajar India masuk Tibet dengan lebih. Nah, selain daripada itu, ini dah diumumkan di TPM 1, ialah kita undi dengan syarikat-syarikat swasta. Dulu kalau kita undi, kita kata ini program Bumi Putra. Tapi kita tambah tu, karena kita tengok kalau dia tahu selain Bumi Putra, macam ke India ni ada masalah lebih daripada etnik minoriti lain. Jadi kita pergi pendekatan. Apa yang kita lakukan? Umpamanya dengan Westa Aviation Sedia Berhad, kita latih 100 belia India untuk licensed aircraft maintenance technicians. Kemudian untuk 150 belia India, Civil Aviation Authority Malaysia certificate untuk program technical drone operations and data services. Kemudian ini saya sebut tentang dengan inisiatif kerajaan, termasuk Kementerian Pembangunan Usahawan, berunding dengan sektor swasta. Saya tak sebut semua yang lain, ya, tapi sebutnya memadai. Baik. Kemudian Petronas. Pada Petronas, program kita juga membantu program Bumi Putra. Selain dari program Bumi Putra, melalui Yayasan Petronas, kita telah pastikan supaya pengambilan pengurusan dan staf India bertambah. Dari sehingga Disember 2023, hampir 1,000 staf dan pengurusan etnik India telah diambil oleh Petronas. Dan hingga 1 April 2024, 78 anak-anak India memegang beasiswa Petronas. Nah, cukuplah rumusan. Apa tujuan saya? Saya nak sebut di sini. Kalau pagi tak buat apa-apa, sudah boleh tegur dan sebagainya. Tapi saya nak sebut berapa banyak program baru ini belum pernah dibuat sebelum ini. Mungkin kelemahan kita adalah kerana terlalu banyak kecanggahan di kalangan pemimpin India, dia tak sempat cerita apa yang kita buat. Jadi dia sempat cerita apa yang dia bergaduh. Jadi let me remind you, yes, is this adequate? No. Is this financial? No. But this is the process. You understand and appreciate the problems that we have to face in dealing some extreme voices among the Malays who form the majority. I have to deal with it. You can choose to ignore. Well, Anwar, you are Prime Minister now, settle the Indian problems. Yes, good. It will be discarded with the other comment. So we have to deal with all issues at the same time. And never see it based on the prism of race. Everywhere I go, my visits, even to the Malay community, I told them, we are here to show a good example. I'm a Muslim. How do you expect me to be a prime minister? This is unjust. The continued discrimination, or in some other countries they discriminate against Muslims or minorities. That's their problem. I want to prove a point. That when you want to lead this country, you must be just. You must be just to all Malaysians, to all our citizens. We have to reciprocate. We must therefore understand that we have to do this together. This is my first major address in responding to some of the issues faced. I've not read all the programs or initiatives done. We have the ministers, Bin Singh, and many deputy ministers, and all these leaders of agencies and MPs. Let us do it together. Yes, you can continue to criticize or give some new suggestions. Yes, there are many other issues not solved. Do I agree? Yes. You mean to see in 1 year, I have to if I solve all the problems in Malaysia, then I don't need to be a prime minister anymore. So you give me some time. Okay? So again, thank you for your patience and thank you for the committee.
Thank you, Dr. Sri, for the impactful speech. Dr. Sri, please remain on stage for the Ambedkar Award giving ceremony to outstanding Malaysians in recognition for their contribution towards community and country. I would like to invite both the patrons, the President of AIM Malaysia and Mr. Bimrao to join the PN on stage. Each recipient of the award will receive a pure gold medal, a certificate and a memento. We are pleased to invite the first recipient on stage. That is Tuan Ahmad Zaharil. Tuan Ahmad Zaharil, in his 30s, came across a woman who had been charged with stealing a RM18 pencil box. She had wanted to gift it to her only child, a 10-year-old son, who had topped his class. Ahmad Zaharil, upon learning what had happened, visited the boys' school, confirmed he had indeed done well. Ahmad Zaharil defended the mother from going to prison. In 2018, Ahmad Zaharil was approached by a gentleman who introduced himself as the son of that woman. Ahmad Zaharil's compassion had been inspired the young man who now became a lawyer too. This story touched the hearts of all Malaysians and has been made into RHB Bank Hari Raya advertisement. This is truly a remarkable story of a compassionate Malaysian beyond race, creed or religion. Congratulations, Tuan. The next recipient, Mr. Samuel Jedas. Samuel Jedas is a renowned Malaysian sitarist, brought honor to Malaysia by winning several gold medals and 1 silver medal for the 8 categories he participated in 2006 World Championship of Performing Arts in Hollywood, USA. He has been awarded the Best Original Composition, Best Solo Performance in Bo Cameron Arts Awards in 2004 and 2019. He has been mentioned in the Form 5 history textbook as one of the notable figures in the field. As a composer, he has released 8 albums to date. He is the founder and president of Swara Community Arts Center to help music bring people together across barriers of race, color, creed and class. Congratulations, sir. The next recipient, Mr. Sambat Rao Permal. Mr. Sambat Rao is the founding member of Dr. Ambedkar Welfare Organization, Malaysia. Currently is the treasurer of the association. He has participated actively in various AIM conventions in countries such as UK, France, Canada, USA, Germany, Belgium, Switzerland and India. Mr. Sambat Rao, a key member who lives by and propagates teachings of Dr. Ambedkar in Malaysia. Congratulations, Mr. Sambat Rao. Our next recipient, Ms. Tina Muralidharan. Tina Muralidharan is the second child of ex-military, an engineer and a medical doctor. She is one of the badminton icons of Malaysia. She is part of the pair of the national #1 women doubles badminton team. Among some of her outstanding achievements, she won the national women's single champion in 2017, Swiss Open women's double champion in 2021. In 2022, Commonwealth Games team event champion, Commonwealth Games individual champion, and France Open 750 champion. Congratulations, champion Tina Muralidharan. Next recipient, Misha Pritika Babu. Misha Pritika Babu, a 10-year-old from Methodist Girls School Eco-Para, is making significant strides in various domains, showcasing exceptional talent and dedication at a young age. Despite a young age, Misha's philanthropic endeavors are noteworthy, particularly her authorship of a children's gratitude journal incorporating the Madani concept. Through this project, Misha is raising fund of 10,000 ringgit for the Children Cancer Association, Malaysia. Misha is also working in advocating for children's mental health, aiming to integrate mental health education into the Malaysian school curriculum through her research and forthcoming book. Congratulations, Misha. And the final recipient for today, Datuk Periaswamy Munuswamy. Datuk Periaswamy Munuswamy was the inspiration for the formation of Dr. Ambedkar Welfare Organization Malaysia, OAIM Malaysia. He is also the founder member and deputy president of AIM Malaysia. He was the chairman of the organizing committee of the second AIM conference held in KL in 2011 and the organizing chairman of Ambedkar birth anniversary celebrated in 2021. He has helped almost all the Tamil daily in Malaysia, namely Tamil Osai, Malaysian Nanban, Makal Osai and Tamil Malay. He was also the executive committee member in Malaysian Newspaper Publisher Association, committee member of Audit Bureau Council and member in Malaysia Press Club. Congratulations, Datuk.
டாக்டர் அம்பேத்கர் அவர்களுடைய விருது பெற்ற நம்முடைய விருதாளர்களுக்கு பெரிய ஒரு கைத்தட்டலை நாம் கொடுத்து விடுவோம்.
Thank you. We humbly request all the recipients to take their seats. Datuk Seri and special guests on stage to remain, please. Mr. Ambedkar and all his representatives of all countries would like to honor him now.
விருது பெற்றவர்களுக்கு நம்முடைய நன்றியினை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்வோம். அடுத்து நம்முடைய அனைத்துலக பேராளர்கள் அவர்கள் நம்முடைய பிரதமர் அவர்களுக்கு சிறப்பு செய்ய வருகின்றார்கள். பெரிய ஒரு கைத்தட்டலை நாம் கொடுத்து விடுவோம்.
We call all the international AIM America, Mr. Herman Suje from India, Dr. Shushan Goge, Ms. Harumi, Ms. Kaoru Tanaka from Japan, Ms. Takanman from Canada, Ms. Pratmun from Australia, Ms. Hadir, USA, Dr. Sudhir Kamble from Brunei, Mr. Ajay from Singapore, Mr. Ramesh Clay, UK, last but not least, Mr. Sujit Karmode from Mumbai, India.
அனைத்து பேராளர்களும் இப்பொழுது நம்முடைய மாண்புமிகு பிரதமர் அவர்களை கௌரவிக்கவிருக்கின்றார்கள். ஒரு பெரிய கைத்தட்டலை நாம் கொடுத்து வருவோம். டாக்டர் அம்பேத்கர் அவர்களை பேசுகிறார்.
Ambedkar's advocacy for social justice, equality and empowerment resonates and reflected in Malaysia through the
Tegangan dan peperangan yang sedang berlaku di antara Iran dan Israel yang berpunca dari serangan kerajaan Zionis Israel kedutaan Iran yang sebenarnya melanggar peraturan undang-undang Antarabangsa. Pelanggaran selalunya mengundang tindak balas. Jadi saya akan adakan musyawarah khas sekarang jam 6 hari bincang dengan beberapa menteri dan juga pegawai yang berkenaan untuk kerangka bahawa langkah segera diambil untuk beberapa tindakan. Tapi seperti sikap dan mereka antarabangsa tentulah untuk supaya dapat dijamin penyelesaian perdamaian di Timur Tengah, kerana apa yang berlaku di sana akan menjejaskan keamanan dunia dan juga ekonomi.
Datuk Seri akan bawa balik tak rakyat Malaysia?
Dan sekarang ni kita jam 6 kita mesyuarat. Baik.
Datuk Seri, apa salah has called your ministers bodoh? So what are your comments on that?
It's completely to my
Datuk Seri,
not proper in context of our unity government.
Datuk Seri,
Work together.
calon untuk PRK Kuala Lumpur baru sudah diutamakan ke?
Nanti kita bincang.
Okay.
Alright,